Hi guys, it's Ravensleep45 and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. And today I'm a little bit late, maybe like 2 days late, but I'm gonna be doing the quest line to get my first relic weapon from, well, the Dark Knight, because Dark Knight is my saber altar, and I'm going to get my first relic for that one, even though I don't like tanking as much, because I don't know, it's just the changes they did for Dark Knight is just like, I miss how it was in Stormblood, just saying, super saying. But regardless, let us do the quest line for my first relic. I wonder it will be shiny. And of course, the quest line is called Hail to the Queen. So, another thing I want to happen for one of the relics is for the Paladin, where if you ever played Final Fantasy Tactics and you get this particular weapon, well, it's like a knight weapon called Save the Queen. I really want I think maybe future stages or the final stage for the relic weapon for the Paladin to be called Save the Queen. Please, Square Enix, make that a thing, please. Anywho, let's continue with the quest. My lady! My, what auspicious timing! I intend to send a message to the Rising Stone, but it seems that it's no longer necessary. Master Hancock wishes to speak with you regarding the matter of grave importance, but I can't imagine what other duties yet demand your attention. Still, he would request you to meet at Ruby Bazaar at your earliest convenience. Okay, Ruby Bazaar it is. Hello Hancock, long time no see. And so she returned from last. From what Totoro has told me, you've become rather a long way, to put it mildly. And while the Scions remained locked in slumber, she sought aid from all considered of the realm, corners of the realm. In fact, it was I whose first turn when she's searching for champions to assist her in her absence. Well, in my absence. Though, as to have no doubt summarized, I dare not call here to discuss such matters. I received word from Lord Hien that the Bozjan resistance, our comrades in the Eastern Alliance, seek the aid of distinguished heroes in their fight against the Empire. And, naturally, your name immediately sprung to mind. The Bozjan Alliance, you say? Indeed, from a small nation found in the southern reaches of Istabard to the western of Damaska, they are no doubt among the first to fall to the Empire. Yet, it would seem that their hearts have yet given way to despair. And with the Empire now in disarray, it would seize their opportunity to fight back. If you would know the details, if you would know the details in full, I think it's best you to speak with Lord Hien. His endless list of commitments make him a hard man to find. However, so perhaps you could find one of his attendants at the House of the Fierce. Track him down for you. Well, I guess I can do that. Well, then again, Hien is a very busy man trying to rebuild his nation. Greetings, my lady. Lord Hien has been expecting you. Oh, at least I caught him in a very good time, or it was meant to be. When word reaches from the Bozjan resistance, Lord Hien knew at once there was but one woman to whom he could turn. He left the courtiers not long ago. To view the dormant castle helped to claim his mind. This way, if you please. Okay. So much for sightseeing, it's all raining and shit. This way, atop the broken bridge, he will be most glad to see for your arrival. Well, most glad for your arrival. And I can see Yuri again. Do you remember when we first shared view of this castle together? Still under Garlean control. Perhaps, yet for all their wickedness, its beauty would not be so easily sullied. How are you going, Hien? Hey, Raptor! It's good to see you, my friend. You must forgive me for foregoing pleasantries, but our guest here is in dire need of your help. Marsak of the Bozjan Resistance. A pleasure to make your acquaintance. Likewise. As you have no doubt already heard from Lord Hien, my people seek to reclaim our homeland from the Empire. Under their aspects and that of the Yosin Alliance, we aim to do just that. However, we recently received word from the 6th Imperial Legion has been making plans of their own. It has long held a previous of Nagzia of Damaska and Bozjan in an iron grip, using the Damascan headquarters to house the bulk of its forces. Until recently, that is. It appeared to be diverting resources and manpower to their forces stationed in Bozja. In fact, 3 battalions are en route as we speak. We thought perhaps to strike before they can fully assemble, but the Bozjan resistance lacked the means to drive them off on their own. Aid from the Damascan resistance group may have suffered. Sadly, even Fran of Lanted Tier has been unable to bring an end of their infighting. All hope is not lost, however. Lord Hien has made a most intriguing proposal. I wonder what this proposal is entailed. An idea not of my own, I must confess. We have our old friend Kotetsu to thank. Oh, Kotetsu! So, are you still having in touch with him even though he's on this long journey of enlightenment? As the Empire tightened the grip on Doma, our people were at crossroads. Would they lay down and surrender, or stand up and fight? You sought me out, that I could not become the spark that lit the fires of rebellion. The same must be done for the Bozjans. They require a standard under which they can rally, a symbol of hope to steel them for what is to come. Lacking a living figurehead such as Lord Hien, my comrades and I look to our nation's past for inspiration. There, we found the answer we sought: Gunnhildr's blades. They were the elite guard of the Queen of Gunnhildr, possessed of weapons blessed by gods. Their exploits will become legends after defending our people against the aliens in the Third Astral Era. The strengths of the steels were matched not only by their dedication to the Queen. Should one lose their life in their absence, their holy blade was then passed on to a successor. In time, their title would lend itself to the most renowned of their weaponry, the Gunblade. But in truth, each member of her guard was master of a unique weapon. Though these sacred relics have been lost into time, it would be I would see them forged anew, armed thus our people would know no fear and drive back our oppressors, just as Queen Gunnhildr did to the Alligans. An admittedly lofty and otherwise unattainable goal for one such as I, which is why I traveled far and wide in search of great minds and gather heroes who will lead their aid. We would be honored to have one of your renown at our side. We value the Bozjan commitment to the cause, and I will see their plans come to fruition. Unfortunately, duty demands that I remain here. I could not in good conscience leave, knowing the Empire yet threatens the borders of Alamigo. Should you choose to accompany him to Bozja, might I ask you also act as a representative of the Eastern Alliance in my stead? Well, sure, I can be your representative. Granted, it is understandable you'll have other duties to attend to, so I'll take up the responsibility on your stead. Leave it to me. Thank you, my friend. If there's any aught else you require of the Eastern Alliance, you only need to ask. Safe travels to the Bozja, my friend. Good to hear, and take care, Hien, and don't let those actual work kill you. Alright. An airship to our base has been prepared for An airship to our base has been prepared for us at the Enclave dock. I hope you see it there soon. Alright. Path to the pass. When you have finished your preparations, meet me at the dock, and we can be on our way. Okay. Go to the Enclave. That we played the host to the liberator of Doma and the Alamigo herself. I did not think you could be persuaded to help us. Look at that mustache though. That's very fancy for a Rotgar. I wonder if you can actually get that for cosmetics for while you're creating one. Bozjan, leader of the Bozjan resistance. Not the best choice for the job, if I'm gonna be frank. But I will bear the title of all the same. Pleasure to meet you. Bloody hell, man! You yet won't inspire such confidence speaking like that. Oh, Gerolt, good to see you, my good man. Ha! You're quite right, Master Gerolt. While you're here, won't you come and welcome our guests? Huh? What in the seven hells are you doing here? Well, getting my relic weapon. What else? And of course, whenever any relic weapon is being mentioned, Gerolt is always at the scene. Our yours and greatest hero and our finest blacksmith. With two of you here, our plans are sure to succeed. Would that the Queen of Gunnhildr were here to witness this. Oi! Artoris! Just between us, I'm only here to pay off my debt to that black-hearted snake Renoa. She has been selling supplies to the Resistance, and they happened to mention they were in need of a smithy. So she and told them I'm the greatest bleeding smith in the realm, with skills that put Gerolt himself to shame. Can't rightly say I'm even half of what she claimed, but I'll do the damnest. Can rightly say I'm even half of what she claims, but I'll do my damnest. They're happy to pay me with good grub, even better booze. So play along, will ya? Sure, okay. As long as I get my relic weapon. Now that both of you are here, I believe it's time our plans made clear. Misidia. Yes, of course. Our goal is to reforge the weapons wielded by Gunnhildr blades. Simple in principle, less known in execution. The weapons themselves are the most of the texts doting the history of her majesties and her guards were lost to the devastation of the Fourth Umbral Calamity. That said, we managed to obtain certain pieces of information, and coupled with Master Geralt's knowledge and expertise, we have made great strides in reproducing these founted blades of old. We wrote out the manner of weapons they wield, the sharpen and weigh, even the materials needed for me to forge. But we learned more all about what gives them spirit. Okay. It is said Queen Gunnhildr attached a holy inscription to each blade, thus granting them the power of the gods. Unfortunately, no record of any such engraving remains, but there is still hope. Though not but pale imitations, there once exist replicas, which may very well be born these inscriptions. Alas, they are lost when Bozja's citadels fell. Well, so what to do from here? Do you know of the Bozjan incident? Not saying it sounds vaguely familiar. A bitter chapter in our history, for it would mark the end of the Bozjan as we knew it. 15 summers passed. The Garleans were conducting experiments, seeking a means to make contact with the lesser moon, Dolomond. They believed that the satellite to be possessed of immense power, and a lunar transmitter were erected in hope of harnessing it. Wait, they have satellites at this team age? But when the transmitter was activated, and the signal sent, Dolomond responded with an immense blast of raw energy. The destruction wrought the foul reckoning. The citadel, the relic of the Queen of Gunnhildr's kingdom, not was left but smoke and ashes. Hope ain't lost yet, though the citadel has been wiped off the bloody map. Aye, but there is still a way to find those inscriptions, or so I've been told. An explanation better left to one far more knowledgeable than I. It's good to see her again from the Evilise Reliance raid storyline. 'Tis good to see you again, Artorias, though I hope to accomplish more before your arrival. Good to see you again, Mikoto. I'm sure help will be available as now as it was above the Prima Vista. You're far too kind. If not for your heroism, Ramza and Amma would have. Don't cry. For the onset of our endeavor, it was abruptly clear that one verse in the Aetherology would be essential. We relayed this to the Alliance, who then introduced us to Mikoto. She's said to be one of the most brilliant minds among the students of Bozjan. And yet, it is my imperative that demands your presence here. I was all but certain that Gerolt and I alone would suffice in this. Alas. The manner she speaks of certain of long forgotten practice of the holy men who once inhabited these lands. Utilizing uniquely aspected crystals, these seers were able to provide succor for those with alignment of the mind. They possess the ability to shape their very memories, removing those deemed harmful and replace them to that patient we find some semblance of peace. Okay. I too dismiss the notion of such practice could exist. That is, until a very excavation unearthed compelling evidence of their work. The crystal we believe were used in their healing. Unfortunately, we were unable to discern how they were meant to be used. It was at a juncture that we petitioned for Mikoto's assistance. Well, lass, made any progress? My initial analysis suggests that the crystals were artificially created at some point in the distant past. The materials used suggest they were most likely produced by the Asterio people of this land or area. What's more, their arterial signature is strikingly similar to those oscillatory activity of the brain waves, which, when made to resonate with the distant frequency of NRR-type harmonic vibration of the individuals. Ah! I've done it again, haven't I? Oh, Mikoto, you never change. I think a simpler approach is in order. Every living being is comprised of comparator of the flesh, incorporator of the soul, and ethereal residue of their memories, which were one to possess only a corporeal aether, they could be a walking corpse. Conceivably, entities comprised of only incorporeal aether are referred as layman's terms as ghosts. In either case, they may also retain some of their residual memories. Aye, zombies and ghosts, I follow. These creatures are able to isolate and resonate with the ethereal signatures of memories. This allows the seer to provide the memories of their patients. That's all well and good, lass, but what if their minds aren't what they used to be? Or perhaps too deep in their cups to remember what they were looking for? Well, there's that possibility. An excellent question, Master Gerolt. We all possess two types of memories, explicit and implicit. As the name suggests, explicit memories refers to active resemblance of previous experiences, while implicit memories are recorded and stored passively. For example, when making a new acquaintance, Their appearance will become part of their implicit memory, allowing you to recall that information. Should a great deal of time pass without meeting, however, such recollections can prove difficult. Yet in that moment, your mind also tracks records of sound and smell, of locations and temperature, and so on. Perhaps a demonstration would better explain this phenomenon. Without seers? Thankfully, that will not be necessary. Okay. When I first told of the seers and their practices, I was immediately reminded of your ability to peek into past. Oh yeah, the ability of me, I can go to the past and view it from my perspective. The Echo. I believe these people were blessed with a similar gift, and it is for that reason they were chosen to serve as seers. Though I too am possessed of the Echo, I lack the ability to peer into the past as you do, and thus have unable to wield the powers of these crystals. That's why we called you here. Until now I could not but posit theories. With your help, however, I may now put them to proof. And yet, Master Gerolt shall be my first test subject. It's like, wait, what? I didn't sign up for this. Like, bloody hell. Here we go. Artorias, I would like you to recall the last time you experienced the Echo. Concentrate on that feeling. Master Gerolt, I need you to recall a memory of the past. It may be anything you like. You better not be poking around here, digging up something unsavory like. You hear, lass? Please, Master Gerolt, focus. Alright, let's do this. Well, did they do it? Or am I just back of the resistance? Well, at least I know it's working. This is most unexpected. For reasons I cannot yet explain, it appears that Echo has allowed me to compute into his memory. Oh, we know. You're a skilled smith, Gerolt. There's no denying that. But you hold money about as well as your liquor? Well, what bloody good is money if you can't spend it? A man has to live a little, Rinoa. Aye, and it would hurt for a man to use his head either. With all that talent of yours, I reckon you could amass a small fortune by now. Could have been you smithing on the syndicate instead of Godbert. As if I ever want to be anything like that dobbering old ass dressed. Didn't realize Did not realize me memory was so sharp. As you can see, imperfect memory is simply compressive. From clear skies, ocean waves, down to the exact words of your conversation. Anything appears to have been perfectly preserved. You're listening to that, were you? Maybe. Every time someone gives you good advice, you turn around and do the complete stumbling opposite. I used to like that rebelling streak of yours, but now I see you're just a bloody idiot. Honestly, I don't know what I ever saw in you. Aww. Whatever it is you think you saw, it ain't as if ever I changed since then. And you haven't either. Still as beautiful as the day we met. Ah, Gerolt, you later killer, you. Whoa, hold on a minute. I ain't ever said anything like that. I swear on my last mug of ale. Sure you are, Gerolt. Implicit memories, while quite comprehensive, are not always true to fact. In the case of painful or otherwise undesirable experiences, they can be obfuscated to produce oneself from hard truths. Our perception of reality can also distort them as well, when we first committed to the mind. Then, as time passes, such distortion can grow happier memories, become more joyous, sad ones all the more bitter. Explicit memory is particularly sensitive to such misrepresentation of events, for man is worth to remember what is most convenient for his worldview. This is why we seek to implic. For they are the most likely to find the truth. Aww, them getting married and whatnot. The truth? Renoa and me were only here a week ago. Don't tell me my memory is that bleeding unreliable. Self-imposed delusions, perhaps. As I said before, the mind has ways of concealing painful memories.